students. Now I'm going to discuss the A-Level ICT 2020 MCQ paper from the 11th question. So I'm doing this in English medium because I'm doing this as a help for the students who studying in English medium, and also I will give some explanation in Sinhalese as well as a request of most of the students. So the first 10 questions I have discussed in another video, in my previous video. So now I'm going to start from the 11th question. Right, so let's look at the question. Consider the following logic circuit consisting of NAND gates. Right, so here we have a circuit with NAND gates, 3 NAND gates. If the required output of the above circuit is AB plus A bar B bar plus C bar, then what should the inputs X and Y be? Okay, so here inputs are in A and B and X and Y, but the output is only with A's and B's, A, B, and C. So we have to find out what are the X and Y. We have to compare the inputs and the given output. So we have to find out what is X and Y, whether it is a A or whether it is a B. Right, so how to do this? So first, we have to take the output, the original output from this circuit. So the output of the first NAND gate is A dot B whole bar. The output of the second NAND gate is A bar dot X whole bar. And the final input is Y. So the output is A dot B whole bar dot second input A bar dot X whole bar. Then third input is Y. So finally, everything goes through this NOT gate in the final NAND gate. So the entire output will be turned into the opposite value. Right. So the given output is here. So this looks like a simplified output, not the original output. So if we can convert this output into this, then we'll be able to find the answer. So how to do the conversion? And we can apply the De Morgan's theory or De Morgan's law into this expression, and we can make it more simplified. So first, I'm going to simplify the first bracket, A dot B whole bar. So we can eliminate this bar. So after eliminating the bar, it will be A bar plus, the dot converts into plus, and B bar, then dot A bar dot X whole bar. Just after eliminating the whole bar, this the A bar also will be eliminated with the above bar as well. So the finally it will be A dot X, sorry, not dot, plus X bar. Then dot Y, then still we have the whole bar. Right. So then we can eliminate the whole bar. Right. So after eliminating the whole bar, the A bar first going to eliminate from the above bar. So finally it will be A. Then the B bar also will be get eliminated. Then it's B. This plus is going to convert to back into dot because of the elimination of the above bar. Then dot again after eliminating the whole bar above the second bracket, then it will be A bar. So the multiplications or AND operations in between these brackets will be converted to its opposite operation due to the elimination of the above bar. So A bar plus, now it's dot, X bar will be removed from the above bar, X. Then this dot will convert to plus and Y bar. Right. So here we have cut. Right. Now we have an expression, something similar to the expression given in the question. දැන් අපිට ටිකක් සමාන expression එකක් ලැබිලා තියෙනවා. So A dot B, then A bar X, A bar B bar plus C bar Y bar. So clearly we can see here Y bar equal C bar. Y bar equal C bar. And X equal to B bar, according to the given expression. X equal to B bar, right? So the question is input X and Y equal to, so right. So if X equal to B bar, Y bar, if the Y bar equal to C bar, then Y should equal to C. Y bar equal to C bar, then Y equal to C. Right? X equal to B bar. We directly taken it from the equation. Okay, so X equal to B bar and Y equal to C. Here we have the fourth answer, X equal to B bar and Y equal to C. Right? Fourth is the correct answer. Okay, then question number 12. The operating system is another program that runs on the computer that has some special responsibilities. Memory management, file management, and input-output management are some of the responsibilities. What is another important responsibility of operating system? So number one, backup management. Backup management is not a responsibility of operating system. If we want a backup, we can use a backup software or backup application. We can run a backup application manually and do our backup requirements, so not a responsibility of operating system. So number two, cache memory management. So cache memory is installed into the CPU. So normally operating system is not involving with the cache memory management, right? So processor is the one which manages the cache memory. So number three, compiler management. So we can use compilers with different programming languages like Java, C++, Python, C#. So different programming language tools are using different compilers. So it's up to the tool. It's not a part of operating system. Process management is a direct responsibility of operating system. So operating system is the one which decides which process goes to main memory and which process goes out from the main memory back into the virtual memory and so on. Then system clock management, it's not a part of operating system. System clock operates by itself inside the processor. So number 4 is the answer for the 12th question. Then next question, number 13. When the number of processes started by a user on a single processor computer increases, what happens to the response time? What happens to the response time of each process as perceived by the user and the memory management related work of the operating system respectively? memory management related work. Okay, so when number of processes started by a user on a single processor computer. Why it's a single processor computer? Because if there are multiple processors in a computer, the increasing number of processes can be distributed into different processes or different cores of the computer. But if there's a single processor, then everything should be managed by a single processor. When the number of processes are increasing in a computer, the load for a single processor also increasing. The number of calculations to be executed will be increasing. So number one, both response time and the memory management related work increase. Yes, response time will be increased because processor is getting slow when number of processes are increasing in a single processor. The response time for input and output devices will be increased. So that means the computer is getting slow. Response time එක වැඩි වෙනවා කියන්නේ computer එක slow වෙනවා. Yes, that is correct. Both response time and the memory management related work increase. Yes, memory management related work will be increased when you execute number of processes. When you increase the number of processes, when you run more and more applications in a computer, the memory management related work will be increased for the operating system. So A is correct. Response time decreases. No. Response time increases. Yes. While memory management decreases. No. Both response time and memory management decrease. No. No change. No. So number one is the answer for the 13th question. 14th question. Which of the following is not a responsibility of the operating system? Allocating physical memory to process. So what is physical memory? RAM. Yes, allocating processes into the RAM is a part of operating system. It's a responsibility of operating system. That is correct. Decide which process to run. Yes, this is called process life cycle. Process life cycle totally managing by the operating system. Keeping track of the usage of compiled program files on a hard disk. Compiled program files. Now, there can be many compiled program files in the hard drive. So operating system no need to keep a track about this information. Keeping track of which parts of physical memory are in use, which are free. Yes, operating system should have a good understanding about what is the available free space in the RAM and what are the running processes inside the RAM. So it's a part of memory management. Swapping processes between physical memory and disk. Yes, the OS is always as a part of memory management. It's swapping data or pages between RAM and the disk, means virtual memory. That is correct. So answer is 3. So 15. In a computer, the size of a user program could exceed the size of physical memory. Also, only the demanded areas of programs are kept in physical memory. Yes. In computer, size of the program could exceed the physical memory. Yes, the data which loaded into the physical memory sometimes exceed the size of the physical memory. RAM එකට programs එනකොට RAM එකේ තියෙන capacity එකට වඩා වැඩිපුර data සමහර විට එන්න බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් එතකොට computer එකට operating system එකට වෙනවා help එක ගන්න virtual memory එකේ. Right? Also, only the demanded areas of programs are kept in physical memory. Yes. Even though the physical memory is not going to enough, still operating system has to keep the demanding processes, demanding programs still in the physical memory, because high priority data always goes into physical memory and low priority data goes to virtual memory or into the disk. The above are due to which of the following? The use of cache memory? No. The use of contiguous file allocation? No. So it's about fragmenting and defragmentation. The use of the file allocation table? No. File allocation table used to track the data in the disk. The use of memory management unit? No. Memory management unit using to translate the logical memory addresses into physical memory addresses. The use of pages, frames, and page tables. Okay. So use of pages related to virtual memory, frames related to physical memory, page table related to virtual memory and physical memory both. Yes, so answer is number 5. Then number 16. Which of the following statements regarding compilers and interpreters are correct? Right. A compiler transforms an entire high-level language program into its machine code. Yes, compiler transforms or translate the entire high-level language. What is high-level language? The languages that we are using today for programming, like Python, Java, C++, C#, all are high-level languages. So in high-level languages, we are using English words, decimal numbers, and symbols, so on, in more meaningful way. Right. So those kind of languages are called high-level languages. Into its machine code. So machine codes means the binary language. Machine code. Okay, so compiler can transfer the entire high-level program into machine code at once. A is correct. B, an interpreter converts each high-level program statement. Yes, interpreter converts each high-level program statement into the relevant machine code during the program run. So what is important here is convert each high-level program statement. So statement by statement, one by one, right? That means line by line. Interpreter converts the high-level program statement by statement into the machine code. That is correct. So compiler converts everything, the entire program into the machine code, but the interpreter converts line by line into machine code. See, compiled codes usually run faster than interpreted code. Yes. So compiled codes can run faster because the entire program is in machine code. But the interpreted codes means those are still converting one by one. So the processor has to wait till the conversion. So C is correct. All A, B, C. Then number 17. Which of the following statements regarding guided and unguided media are correct? So A, guided media transmission supports higher data speeds than unguided media transmission. Yes, so guided media means wires. Guided means wires. Unguided means wireless or radio waves. So statement A, guided media transmission support higher data speeds than unguided media transmission. Yes, the wire transmission is more faster than wireless transmission. As an example, what is the fastest network media in the world? Fastest method for communication is fiber optics. Right? Fiber optic cables are the passes method, so it's a guided media. So A is correct. B, guided media is subjected to less interference than unguided media. Subject to less interference. Yes, there are less amount of disturbances for a guided media transmission compared to unguided media transmission. So when a wireless signal broadcasting through the air, there are so many possibilities of disturbances, so many possibilities, right, compared to wired media. So that is correct. See, unguided media transmission is more secure than guided media transmission. No, the wireless transmission is not secure compared to wired transmission. Unguided media transmission uses low bandwidth than guided media transmission. Yes, unguided or wireless media transmission using low bandwidth. Yes, as I said, the wire transmissions are more faster. That means more bandwidth. So D is correct. So A, B, D are the answers. So number 2 is the answer for the 17th question. Then question number 18. What is the process carried out in the modulation technique in data transmission? Okay, in data transmission, yeah, there are few modulations techniques. Amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, phase modulation. And some examples for modulation. Encoding information in transmitted signal. Yes, encoding information in transmission signal. Yes, modulation technique is using to encode information into the signal, right? Embed the information into the signal. In modulation, is using two signals. One is the carrier signal. Other one is the signal which carrying information. So one is correct. Encoding signals in transmitted information. No, signals are not encoding into information, but information are encoding into the signal. Extracting information from the transmitted signal. Now, extracting information from the transmitted signal means decoding, right, or demodulation. Right? So here the question is about modulation. Extracting signal from transmission, no. Transfer information with minimum distortion, no. So distortion means another disturbance, another kind of a noise. So here it's about modulation, not about the noise occurrences. So number 1 is the answer for question number 18. Then number 19, which of the following statement about bus topology are incorrect? Right, so we have to find the incorrect statements. So in bus topology, as you know, all the nodes, all the equipments in a network, devices connected to a backbone cable, like that. A, computers and network devices are connected to a single cable. Yes, connected to a backbone cable. All traffic flows are either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So that means the traffic flows in circular motions, clockwise or anti-clockwise. No, so this kind of a thing can be happen in ring topology, but not in the bus topology. Bandwidth is shared among the nodes. Yes, the bandwidth of the backbone cable are shared among the nodes or the connected end devices. Each node is connected to 2 of its neighbors. Now, each node connected to the backbone cable not for the other neighbors. So that is wrong. So here the question asking about incorrect statements. B and D are incorrect. So number 4. Right, then the 20. Consider the following statement with a blank. A media access control MAC address is usually represented in blank numbers. Which of the following is suitable to fill the blank? Right, so MAC address, media access control, another name is physical address. So physical address is embedded into the network devices like the network card, maybe for the Bluetooth chip, maybe in the Wi-Fi adapter, right? So different network devices containing different MAC addresses, and the MAC address is installed from the factory. We can't change it, so that's why it's called the physical address. And the MAC address is consists with hexadecimal numbers, right? So the answers are binary, decimal, hexadecimal, natural, and octal. So number 3 is the answer. Okay, so that is the end of the question number 20. So that's the end of part 2 of the 2020 MCQ paper discussion. So hope my video has helped for you students a lot. So if you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, you can comment below. Right, so we'll see you with the part 3 video. Bye bye.